So as you've probably seen from the thumbnail for this video, some unpleasant things happened with the white Calais. It's pretty unfortunate, but it is what it is. Shit happens. All you can do is fix it and move on. So I'll tell you what happened. What's funny, I actually took my mate Reese for a drive that afternoon after work, and you know, we were discussing how good the car was going and everything like that, with a bigger turbo on it, and I was saying, hey, the car's been running like a dream, I haven't had any issues, you know, no leaks, no reliability problems, car's been driving great, finally ready to you know, do the final tune, turn the boost up and see what kind of power she makes. Once I left his workshop, I thought, you know what, I wouldn't mind a few tins tonight, so I pulled into the Bottle-O on the way home, and as I was driving into the driveway, the car just stalled. It didn't make any weird sounds or anything like that. I was like, oh, that's weird, I'll try and start it. Straight away, as soon as I tried to start it, it sounded weird, like the engine didn't have like the same amount of compression, or it wasn't firing at the right time. So I pushed it in the car park, I called up my mate Reese, I'm like, hey, can you come and get me, blah blah blah, bring your trailer so I can get the car home. He came and got me, no problem, got the car home, put it in the shed, and I just left it there until the weekend now, and I'm going to have a look at it and try and investigate what happened, what went wrong, and what do I need to do to fix it. The fact that it sounded weird and it didn't sound like it had the right amount of compression, you know, makes me believe that I think the timing belt skipped. This timing belt's probably been on the car for at least 12 months. Had no issues until this point. It does have a aftermarket cam gear on it, so which you can loosen the bolts and adjust it. So I'm like, did those bolts come loose? Did it, you know, try to move, and did it skip when that happened? Or, you know, is there, you know, an oil leak from my cam seal or my crank seal, and it's contaminated the belt and made it slip that way? Or did the tensioner come loose? You know, I always lock tight the tensioners, so yeah, I'm not sure. But what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna pull the top timing cover off. I'm going to turn the crank over by hand until it's at top dead center for the bottom end. So if you see my last video, you'd see that I showed you when putting the distributor in, the bottom harmonic balancer and the bottom timing belt mark on the lower timing case cover, you align those. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to align those, and then I'm going to look at the position of the cam, and if that little indent is not pointing relatively straight up, I know straight away that the belt slipped. And then from there, if I do identify that that's the issue, you know, I'm going to look at putting a new belt on it, a new tensioner, even though both of those things were relatively not that old. And also the fact it's got the aftermarket cam gear, adjustable cam gear on it, makes me kind of think that maybe I should just put a standard one on. Maybe the shape of the teeth, the way it's machined, maybe it might be slightly different, I'm not sure. But those are the kind of options that I'm leaning towards. But yeah, first things first, I need to troubleshoot on the car and prove that my initial theories are correct. So I'll get stuck into that, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Righto guys, so I took the upper timing cover off, and as you can see right there, that timing belt has come off. So my theory is correct, so it's definitely timing belt related. My adjustable cam gear, if you have a look, none of those positions have moved, so it wasn't the cam gear that came loose. So I can only assume that it's the actual tensioner. So this belt looks a little bit shredded as well. So as I said, I'll be ordering a new belt, new tensioner, and then throwing it back together and making sure everything's sweet. Obviously, the reason why I was turning over so easily and stuff like that is because, yeah, the belt's, you know, the belt's just not on. It's not meshed properly. So yeah, pretty random. Like I said, this belt and everything's been on the car for, yeah, probably over 12 months. So it's pretty random that it would just happen like this. Yeah, I'd like to think if there was something majorly wrong when I first put it back together, it would have happened sooner rather than later. So I'll investigate some more, but I'm relatively pleased that that's all it is. And I'll order some parts and I'll get them on the way, so then I can fix it later on in the week. So no big deal. Yeah, it's frustrating, but hey, you're gonna own a car, you know, and do mods to it and soup it up and, you know, drive it hard and stuff like that. These things are inevitable. So if this is the worst that happens, then life's pretty good for me. So I might pull some other bits and pieces off, so I can have a look at this tensioner and then go from there. Righto, so pulled the old timing cover off, the lower one, and this fell out. So as you can see there, the actual timing stud that goes in the block, shit, not cool. What that means is I'm gonna have to get down here with a drill and an easy out and extract that stud and look at putting a new stud in. So apparently, I've never had this happen to me before in 20 years, but apparently some people who've been doing new builds and using the OEM Nissan studs, they've been failing. So ARP actually make a stud for this. So I'm going to look at getting that ARP stud kit and running one of those instead to prevent this from happening. So yeah, weird. Timing belt tension was perfect, had no issues, been in the car for 12 months. So look, maybe this old stud that had been in there for what, ever since the car or this engine itself was made, just decided it had enough. So I can fix it. Pain in the ass drilling in the block, but yeah, I'll get it sorted and she'll live to hit the streets another day. So I've had a interesting day, or afternoon I should say, working on the VLs. Was able to troubleshoot what's wrong with the white VL. Wasn't really what I was expecting to find in regards to the sheared stud, but it's fixable. I'll track down some parts and the things I need to sort that out. Right now I'm pretty hungry, so I reckon I might slide down a 24 pack of nugs, and I'm stinging for a few rums, so I'm going to go do that, edit these videos, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.